to that trial, because he knew it was on TV, do you feel that he drew on all them skills that he'd learned over the years as an actor?
Of course. I'll explain it to you this way. I had a man recently who was in a court custody case for his daughter. The mother of his daughter didn't want him to see his daughter, and he wanted to see his daughter. And she's kept that daughter away from him for a long time. So he's going to go to the court of law, and he's going to try and win some time with his daughter. So the defense team filmed him, and he literally was like this: about your daughter and how much you love her. I love my daughter with all my heart. She means the world to me. I care greatly about my daughter. I love her. And they went, you look like a stalker. No jury is going to want to give you 5 minutes with her or judge if you're like that when the court occurs. So what we did was he and I rehearsed him thinking about loving moments with his daughter. And I trained him to believe that the courtroom was actually seeking justice for his daughter. Therefore, they wanted the same thing as he did. I made him believe this story. To make him believe that the prosecuting attorney, the opposing counsel team, actually wanted what's best for his daughter. So I taught him how not to lie. I taught him how to inspire himself authentically every moment when he talked about his daughter. So he would get naked emotionally. Instead of protecting and shielding himself, he would open up and he would go, I love my daughter with all my heart. She's amazing, and I want the best for my daughter. No lies in him. It's not about being slick or cool or hiding. It is about not lying. Now, example, I had a guy who was doing a presentation. I was teaching him how to win a sales presentation. And he's doing his slideshow, and he's going blah, 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 blah. And man, I'm bored to tears. His investment level, scale of 1 to 10, he's a 4. He doesn't believe it. I don't believe him. He's just reading the cards on each slide. Blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden he goes, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, and I know that if this city council agrees to proceed with this program and builds this amusement park on the beach, all of the financial problems for the community are going to disappear. And the city's going to become incredibly wealthy. And I went, whoa, there's no lie in you. What did you do? What, you mean when I got to slide number 14? Yeah, because that's when it came to life. Well, I'm afraid to tell you the truth, but all of a sudden you told me to let my mind drift towards thoughts that inspire, because I couldn't find anything on the presentation that was inspiring. So I let my mind drift to anything that inspired me. And what popped in my head was this large-chested woman that I know, and I just saw her in my mind without any clothes on while I was reciting that card. And I said, excellent. And he said, I can't do that. This is a city council meeting. I can't be thinking of naked women. I said, wait a minute. It wasn't that you were thinking of a naked woman. It was she appeared out of nowhere as a source of inspiration, and you went with it. So you were authentically inspired. Here's the agenda. You're authentically inspired. And so you brought life and truth to the words that were on that slide. And he said, great, I'll think of naked women when I do the presentation. And I said, you'll do no such thing. She appeared, that's why it worked. It could be a birthday party, a vacation, a skiing trip, you swimming in the ocean when you were 15 years old. I don't care. Your cat's playing. I don't care. But you truly let yourself drift into something that was inspiring, and you said it. The reason that Johnny Depp was so amazing in that courtroom was because Johnny, under a high-stakes situation, is amazing in his ability to tell the truth under any circumstance. Now, it doesn't mean that the words were true, because he's a skilled technician. But if you look at his ex-wife, she blew it left, right, and center. She didn't have his skill because all she was doing was this. Defensive and acting strangely and acting weirdly. She didn't prepare for it at all in her hubris. Oh, believe me, he did. So that's the difference. So telling the truth. That's what people love Brad Pitt. They actually followed his career for 40 years. Why do they love Brad Pitt so much? Because he's never lied to you in 40 years. Ever. Whether he's a spaceman in a rocket to Mars, whether he's playing a spy, whether he's playing a stoner, he never has lied to you. See, lying to you is just trying to hide or deceive you. He's always exposed himself. Johnny Depp had an agenda to not lose this case. We could call it the train of thought. We could call it anything you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and she lied. That's all scripted. But where his superpower is, of course, he trained for this, but that's not what sold people. What sold people was this, the innocence and the playfulness that was behind the agenda. So if you're a salesman doing a sales call, you don't lie to you don't lie or hide